Hello everyone, this is Darcinova here. I know I said I wasn't going to do a review of this movie. I said I wasn't going to see it. And it may make me look like a hypocrite. But to be honest, now is the time for me to finally give this movie the fucking ass whooping that it deserves. I've heard things and read things about this movie that are awful. And for me to have closure on this entire situation, I had to watch it. I didn't want to. In fact, my brother, I let him decide if we were going to see it or not. And unfortunately, I saw it. My God. I have no intention of editing this video. This is a raw fucking rant. So, if you're not into long videos, I suggest you stop watching now or watch bits of it at a time. So, grab some popcorn, make something for dinner, whatever you're currently doing. You don't have to watch the video. You can listen to it and hear me, because this is a video that I feel like you guys deserve to see, because of all these people who've been speaking out against Disney Star Wars, Stephanie, I Live in Hyperspace, and amongst many others, I'm the only one that isn't equipped with the information. I know what's in The Last Jedi before I saw it, but I didn't actually experience the movie myself. It is awful. It is worse than I thought it would be. My God. I don't know where to begin with this fucking abomination. This movie is so fucking awful. How the fuck did this get over 90% on Rotten Tomatoes by critics is beyond me. I don't get it. What do critics see in this goddamn movie that the rest of us do not? Oh, because it has certain things that they're looking for that they consider good? The entire movie is a poorly edited, plot hole written, disjointed fucking mess of a movie. Anyone that defends this film is not a Star Wars fan. Yes, I'm playing a gatekeeper. Fuck you, I don't care. This movie is awful from every sense of the word. This, from its terrible characters that are, that are so robotic. They're not even characters. From its freaking bullshit freaking themes on the rich or evil, which I'll get into that later in this video, or fucking basically giving the finger to Star Wars fans every fucking chance that they get in this movie. Rian Johnson, that fucking beta male motherfucker. He thinks it's funny to subvert our expectations. He thinks it's funny to constantly give fans the finger every chance he gets in this fucking movie. He thinks it's funny tearing down characters that fans grew up with for 40 fucking years. Luke Skywalker? Fucking, I sound like a broken record at this point. Fucking turned one of the most optimistic, heroic characters in Star Wars and tore him down and made him into a bitter old man and a fucking nihilistic piece of fucking human garbage that fucking abandons his family and friends when they need him the most. And no, him fucking doing what he did towards the end of the movie, he didn't fucking redeem himself. He didn't actually go to fucking Crate to actually face Kylo Ren like a fucking man. He fucking stayed in Octu like a fucking coward. And, oh yes, he found peace. For what? He didn't do a goddamn thing to even earn peace. And Rey? All you fuckers that defended Rey since The Force Awakens came out, fucking, I know she was a Mary Sue in The Force Awakens, and I knew she was in The Last Jedi. But seeing the shit that she does, actually seeing it, just reinforces the fact that she's a Mary Sue. And those who say that Kylo Ren was the best thing about this movie, no! He was awful. Not the actor that played him, but the character. And the inconsistent characterization of Rey. One scene, she wants to fucking kill Kylo Ren for what he did to Han. Which, that's how she should feel to begin with. Then another scene, she wants to fuck him. This fucking Twilight bullshit is inserted in Star Wars. This fucking stupid Reylo fanfic horseshit that fucking ruins everything that could have been good about this movie. And nothing that makes it even worse, whatever good things about this movie that are in here, it's fucking overturned by the bad stuff in this movie. Yes, the movie may visually look great, but does that really make a good film? No. The opening scene for this movie is so boring. I was never disinterested in an opening scene for Star Wars before. Oh, we don't want to bore the audience because they have such a low attention span, so let's start with a long action scene that's boring as hell and have a stupid joke having Poe prank call fucking someone from the First Order, which is inappropriate for this kind of movie. This movie's supposed to be dark, yet it's not consistent because you have stupid humor inserted everywhere. The humor, some of these idiots in the movie theater were fucking laughing. Why? The humor wasn't funny. And who the fuck thought it was such a good idea to insert slow mode in Star Wars? You know that bullshit thing that the Matrix fucking fucking put in the movie? My God, what is that doing in Star Wars? It's fucking... It takes me out of the movie. And same thing with the humor. The score, I'll get to that later, but it's fucking forgettable. Don't get me started on fucking the scene when you first see Luke Skywalker in this movie. Fans, oh my God, we've been waiting for so many years. What is Luke going to do? Oh, he's picking up his lightsaber. What does he do? He just tosses it casually. It's like, when I saw that scene, it's like, is that supposed to be funny? No, that's the first middle finger that Rian Johnson gives people in the movie. One out of many. You know, the audience who are excited to see Luke again are confused. Why would he throw his lightsaber like that? You have to wait freaking a little bit in the movie, then you fucking have Luke fucking, acting like a complete jackass to Rey, which I don't care because Rey is an unlikable fucking cunt. And then a thing that makes me really angry is the milk scene with Luke Skywalker, milking a cow. That's another middle finger because that just tells me that Disney's going to milk this cow dry. That's essentially what it tells me. And people say I'm looking too much into it. No, this stuff is in there for a reason. There are messages that most people would overlook in this fucking movie. There's fucking, Luke ranting like a fucking lunatic about the fucking Jedi and how blah, 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 that they're failures. Okay. But here's the kicker. We don't ever see Luke mourning Han. He hears about Han, what happened to Han, and we assume he would, but they cut it to have fucking bitch boy freaking having one of his temper tantrums. Yes, he destroys the mask in the movie, which I don't even know why it was even in The Last Jedi. Fucking Snoke fucking saying shit to him like, oh, take off that ridiculous mask. It's like, was that fucking Rian Johnson saying that's, that? And then don't get me started on this line called let the past die, which, of course, I'll get into that later in the video. This movie fucking has a chase scene with the First Order and the Resistance that happens throughout almost every But about 80% of the movie is this fucking chase scene. And then you have fucking Poe along with Rose, the most... Oh, don't get me started on that fucking character. Fucking going to Canto Bight to freaking get... Oh, God, what the hell? Some sort of hacker, codebreaker, whatever the fuck you call it. I almost forgot what I saw already, honestly, so I don't fucking care to get this one right. To shut down the tracking system that allows the First Order to track, the resistance through hyperspace. Okay. And this subplot, which is something even the most the people who defend Canto, the movie can't defend Canto Bight, like, oh, it has this stupid message, animal cruelty. Okay, I think animal cruelty is wrong. I think, and same thing with child slavery. But having an anti-capitalist theme in this movie, I'm sorry, you people, but it is hypocritical for Disney to have an anti-capitalist theme in this movie, at least in this subplot, when Disney's one of the richest corporations on the planet. What business do they have to be anti-capitalist? They fucking buy companies left and right. They're as capitalist as you can get. I hate capitalism. But you know what? It's hypocritical to preach against capitalism when you're the richest corporation, well, not really the richest, one of the richest corporations on the face of the earth. So I don't really want to hear an anti-capitalist theme in a Star Wars movie. I don't care. It takes me out of the film, and it does. Then they get to some stuff about war profiteering, which is another imperialist, which is stupid because Disney Star Wars is essentially pro-war anyway. And don't get me started on the nihilistic themes of this movie, that nothing that anyone does matters. And don't get me started on that character that, I forgot the guy who plays him, who betrays Rose and Finn for money, but you don't see him after he betrays them. It's like, what was his point in this movie? You could have cut him out and nothing would have changed. And I know I'm just summing up as much as I can because I'm doing this fresh out of seeing this piece of shit, and I don't care about doing editing for this because to me this movie is so fucking awful. It makes me so goddamn angry just thinking about it. Okay, let's continue. After the Canto Bight bullshit, I know I'm going out of order, but I'm just going by stuff that is really awful. You have a chase scene with the animals, which is so long. Oh, God, why did they include this in this movie? Instead of having this Canto Bight bullshit, we could have had moments where Rey actually bonds with Luke Skywalker and actually trains with him rather than have no training whatsoever except one training session. If you even call it a training session. Yet she's somehow more competent with the Force than any Jedi that we've seen in the original trilogy, the prequels, the Clone Wars, hell, even a lot of characters in the expanded universe. How is she more competent than most Star Wars characters when she hasn't even trained? Oh my God, I can't stand this fucking movie. And then you have the thing with the thing that really pisses me off about this movie is the Reylo bullshit with Kylo Ren and Rey. Why is this stupid? In one scene, you have Rey wanting to kill Kylo Ren and hates him with a passion. Then she wants to save him. Are you fucking serious? Kylo Ren murders Han Solo, and then we have a scene where it makes him sympathetic, so we have to feel sorry for him? No! Kylo Ren is a scumbag! He murdered Han Solo, his own father, in cold blood. Why should we feel sorry for him? I'm sorry, people. You fucking Kylo Ren fanboys and fangirls. Kylo Ren is a fucking scumbag. He should be fucking killed. He should not get redeemed and freaking not have any consequences. People give Anakin shit in the prequels, yet at least Anakin is an actual character. At least Anakin actually develops from one movie to another. Kylo Ren hasn't changed that much. in The Force Awakens to The Last Jedi. Yes, he has more development than Rey, but is that really saying a lot? Kylo Ren's main theme of his character in this movie is letting the past die. Yet, isn't he hypocritical, Kylo Ren, considering fucking he still is clinging to freaking trying to be like his fucking grandfather? It's like his character from The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, are so... They don't even feel like the same character. This movie is so disjointed. Even freaking The Worthless Awakens, which now earns the title The Worthless Awakens, the characters don't feel the same. Rey, who I hate, by the way, doesn't feel the same either. All the characters in this film are so inconsistent how they were portrayed in The Force Awakens. And Finn, did Finn already overcame his fear of the First Order at the end of The Force Awakens? And now he's wanting to run away like a fucking coward again? And then when fucking Finn is trying to get his moment towards the end of the movie, fucking stupid fucking Rose ruins that moment, which I don't think it would be ruined because Finn fucking sucks as a character anyway. He's not even a character as far as I'm concerned. Fucking Rey finds out the truth about what happens with Kylo Ren. You know, she hears it from Kylo's perspective and Luke. And then she fucking, like the fucking cunt she is, attacks Luke Skywalker. Okay, she's barely talked to Kylo Ren. And now she somehow is on his side? God, I hate this movie. Luke Skywalker. They castrated this character so much in this film. It's like Rian Johnson, it almost seemed like he went to fucking a bunch of fan theories and fucking went out of his way to subvert expectations. He didn't actually try to make a good movie. He just wanted to subvert expectations, which doesn't make a good film. It doesn't. And here's an example of one thing that really makes no goddamn sense. If Luke Skywalker goes to fucking Octu to die, why the hell did he left a map? Why did he left a map to have to be found? He had to leave a map for a reason. Are they going to explain why? Of course not. They're just going to brush that under the rug because the assholes at the fucking store group, especially Hidalgo, think fucking those details don't matter. Well, you know what, you fucking assholes? It matters to us, to the fans, those who fucking buy your products, who invest into the candidate, want to know how it works, why things happen the way it did, and then have it completely contradict what was established before. Oh yeah, that's another thing. This movie is a middle finger to new canon fans as well, because all those people that spent all that money, all those hours reading this material, that shit fucking is contradicted. Because Snoke dies in The Last Jedi, which officially turned one of the most, interesting characters in terms of theories, between The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, and now makes him to the most worthless Star Wars character in history. And even if his origin is revealed in a novel or a comic, majority of the fans who've seen The Force Awakens will not give a fuck. This movie is fucking terrible. Awful. Awful, 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 awful. The death of Snoke was essentially a fuck you to Snoke theories. Even though there's some pretty bad Snoke theories, there were some good ones too, but it was a fuck you to everyone who had any interest in Snoke. That was Rian Johnson's fucking middle finger, because Rian Johnson is a fucking asshole. He fucking hates Star Wars, and he wants to fucking just tear it all down. Same thing with Kennedy and all those other fuckers that work at Lucasfilm. Huh. Freaking, oh yeah, the Battle of Crate. That was... What? It has to be one of the most boring final battles ever in a Star Wars movie. I was so bored. It was like... Some of the most stupidest writing in Star Wars happened in this scene. When Finn was about to sacrifice himself, the stupid bitch Rose takes her snowspeeder, whatever you call that fucking thing, crashes into Finn, says a stupid line, We will fight to protect what we love, not what we hate. It's like, it is such a stupid line. This character is so stupid. Okay, first off, I haven't even gotten to the worst character in this movie. I'll get to her in a bit. This bitch almost gets everyone in the resistance killed. Her and Admiral Gender Studies are the most incompetent fucking people. Admiral Gender Studies, let's get to her. This stupid cunt. Okay. It is established in one of the Star Wars novels that were released before The Last Jedi, that Admiral Gender Studies, is a lesbian. Not that it matters, but that's when she made her first appearance. Not that anyone who fucking watching this video gives a flying fuck about this character. Admiral Gender Studies is the stupidest fucking commander in Star Wars. First off, what kind of fucking idiot is in charge of the military and doesn't inform her men on what they're going to do? She does, like, Poe which is pretty reasonable when he's asking, what's the plan? What's the plan? What's the plan? Does she answer him? No. This movie just castrates every single guy character because they have an agenda. Even though Admiral Gender Studies is perhaps the worst commander ever on screen, she takes control of the Resistance, and because of her incompetence, nearly every single member of the Resistance dies. Her and Rose are everything that is wrong with Star Wars, because we have to insert a woman in every role, but we don't have them in there based on their competence. They're so incompetent, and I'm not going to call this her Leia. I refuse to call her that. I'm going to call her General Dumbass is also a fucking idiot. It's like every single character that isn't a fucking, woman is portrayed as an idiot. And don't get me started on that stupid fucking scene where General Dumbass is in space and she flies like fucking Superman. That is so fucking stupid, I don't know where to begin. Not only does the CGI in that scene look like shit, it makes no sense. Why didn't they just let Leia die in that scene? Because there's no... Carrie Fisher is dead. They can't use her character in Episode 9. Would have been a perfect time to kill her off, but no. And here's another thing. What this movie did, the ultimate sin. Other than completely obliterating Luke's character and fucking turning him into a cowardly, nihilistic fucking bitch, they've killed him. They killed Luke Skywalker, even though there were still things they could have done with him in Episode 9. They fucking killed him. Now, what do we have to work with in Episode 9? Every character that everyone cares about is dead, or that isn't completely assassinated. All we're stuck with is the bitch boy Kylo Ren, May Ray Sue, the Jar Jar Binks of the sequels, the stupid fucking Asian lady fucking named Rose, who is completely useless, and God knows what other names. I don't remember all the characters' names. This is all we have to work with. This is what people are going to flock to. No. Oh, there's other things I could talk about too. How this fucking movie ripped off a fanfic. How it took emolents from a fanfiction like Ray Nobody, Raylo, and all a bunch of other stupid shit. If you're interested, I'll give you a link to the fanfiction if you have the time to read it. This fucking movie, freaking, in key scenes, is a big mockery to Star Wars fans of all kinds. Like, when Yoda, which really made me angry, actually, people bitch about Attack of the Clones ruining Yoda by having him taking out his lightsaber to fight Dooku. Are you really going to fucking tell me that Yoda cackling as he was laughing about ancient books burning, oh, those aren't page turners, those are not. You're going to tell me that isn't ruining Yoda, having him talk the way he talks in that movie, like doing it casually as he's burning thousands of years of fucking history and lore. Which, you know what? That's a metaphor. When Yoda means by page turner, they are not, he's referring to, and I'm not freaking looking too much into this, I see it for what it was. That fucking scene with Yoda burning the tree when he talks about page turner, they are not, is referring to Legends. Yes, that is right. The expanded universe, and anyone that's invested in Star Wars outside the films. Page turner, it is not. It's wherever it's the EU, the new canon. That's what Yoda fucking is apparently saying, and that's what basically the people at Lucasfilm and fucking Rian Johnson are saying to us. Page turner, they are not. Essentially saying, oh, all that stuff that you've read is worthless. That's essentially what they're saying. So it's a middle finger to EU fans and new canon fans who actually are invested in Star Wars outside the movies. And when Kylo Ren says it's time to kill old things, he's referring to anything that isn't Disney Star Wars. The prequels, this, of course, anything that doesn't belong, that hasn't done. The originals, the Clone Wars, the expanded universe, anything pre-2014, that's what he's referring to when he says it's time to kill old things. What this movie represents is a hate letter to Star Wars fans everywhere. The Last Jedi is the worst movie I've ever seen. I hate this film. I hate for what it represents. I think it's a disgrace to Star Wars. I think anyone that defends this film is not a Star Wars fan. If they're going to defend this fucking piece of nihilistic fucking garbage, I hate this movie. And for all you people who are saying, oh, you're taking this too seriously, it's just a movie, man. It's not just a goddamn movie. It's part of our fucking culture. Fucking ruining iconic characters like Luke Skywalker, turning him into a failure. You know, what does that send? What kind of message does that send to us? That heroism doesn't matter, morals don't matter, fucking fascism is inevitable, so you might as well deal with it. Fucking kill the past because it doesn't matter. It's like this movie is everything wrong with Disney Star Wars. It's not a love letter to Star Wars fans. It's a fucking hate letter. Every single goddamn fucking key scene in this film that some people talk about is a fucking hate letter to Star Wars fans. Whether if you're a fan of the prequels, the originals, the Clone Wars, the expanded universe, the new canon, if you're invested in that. It's a middle finger to all those people because what Disney truly wants and fucking Kathleen Kennedy is our money. This movie is so fucking awful. I may have said that a lot of times in this fucking rant. I hate this film. I can't believe it exists. I can't believe something this bad gets praised by critics. And thank God it didn't win the Oscars. Thank fucking God, because this movie does not deserve it. Mark Hamill hated this film, despite what you people want to say. And George Lucas, unless I hear it from his own mouth, him actually speaking, I actually hear him say it, I don't believe it. This movie is a fucking piece of fucking shit. And anyone that likes it is not a Star Wars fan. I don't care if I lose subscribers by saying that. I hate this film that much. I don't care if I come off as an elitist. I don't care. I hate this film. And I hate the sequels. If you went to me 10 years ago and told me that Star Wars would get a sequel trilogy, but it would be awful, it would take all my favorite characters that I grew up with, castrate them in the favor of robot of characters like Rey, Finn, Poe, and Kylo Ren, I would say you're crazy. This trilogy is an abomination. I don't need to see episode 9 to know that this trilogy is awful. And fuck anyone that says, that if I think this is worse than the sequels, I'm retarded. Fuck off. This is worse than anything that even the worst of George Lucas could have done. I pretty much am done with this video, honestly. I know I rambled a lot, but then again, this is a raw rant. I hate this movie. I don't even think it doesn't deserve a rating because it's so bad. I won't even give it a rating. The Last Jedi is the worst movie I've ever seen in my life, and I'm gonna call it Star Wars: The Last Fanfic. Fuck this movie. Fuck anyone that likes it. Fuck the corporate shills that defend this film like it's the best thing ever. Fuck you. I don't care. I hate this film, and I will never acknowledge it as Star Wars. Same thing with The Worthless Awakens. As bad as Rogue One is, at least Rogue One isn't 2.5 hours. At least Rogue One isn't a hate letter to Star Wars. J.J. Abrams will not save Star Wars. So for those of you who think J.J. Abrams is going to save the sequel trilogy with Episode 9, you're only fooling yourselves. And one more thing, I gotta show you people. So I can show you how much I actually paid for this movie. Okay. I went to a dollar theater where I live. This is how much I paid for it. $3. And when I went to the theater, it was almost empty. So don't tell me this movie is loved by people. Majority of the people that watched this movie hated it. So this is Darcenovia, over and out. And fuck The Last Fanfic and those who like it.